If someone had told me that the woman I loved for 6 years would betray me right before our wedding, I would have laughed and called them crazy. But then, a tiny USB shattered everything I believed in. On it was the woman I was about to marry, wrapped around 3 strangers, while her best friend laughed behind the camera. I didn't scream. I didn't cry. I made a plan. And I made sure they all paid for it. You won't be able to look away for even a second. I'm Ethan Carter, living in Chicago, and I thought I'd found true love with Emily Harper. We met at a party in Wicker Park, where her radiant smile left me spellbound. Emily was vibrant, I was calm, a perfect pair. After a few years of dating, I proposed, and she said yes instantly. We planned a lavish wedding at a swanky downtown Chicago hotel, thinking everything was perfect. But I was wrong. One day, I came home early to our River North apartment, planning a surprise dinner for Emily. At the door, I found a gift package with a glittery card, "To the wildest bride-to-be, you earned every second of it. Love, Ashley." Ashley Brooks, Emily's loud best friend, always rubbed me the wrong way. A bad feeling hit me, and I tore open the package. Inside was a plastic tiara, a last bride sash, a dirty pair of men's underwear, and a USB drive. My heart pounded. I plugged the USB into my laptop, and what I saw crushed me. The video started with Emily, wearing the tiara, laughing in a Rush Street bar. Then she climbed onto a strip club stage, dancing with a male stripper. I tried to think it was just fun, but the next scene shattered my hopes. Emily kissed 3 strange men, leading them into a hotel room, while Ashley laughed loudly, shouting, "Bride of the Year." I felt stabbed in the chest. The woman I loved, the one I was set to marry, betrayed me shamelessly. Rage surged, and I slammed my hand on the table, yelling in the empty apartment. I called my best friend, Jake Miller, spilling everything. "She's disgusting, Ethan. You gotta do something," Jake said. Right then, I knew I couldn't stay. Emily had destroyed everything, and I'd make her pay. The apartment was suffocatingly silent, only my heartbeat thundering in my chest. The laptop screen still glowed, Emily's image leading 3 strangers into a hotel room slicing into my mind like a knife. I sat there, hands shaking, fighting the urge to smash everything in sight. My anger wasn't just fire, it was a storm, ripping apart every sweet memory I had of her. I closed my eyes, but Emily's giggling, her sparkling eyes in the video, haunted me. I wanted to scream, to erase everything tied to her, but first, I needed to understand what happened. I replayed the video, forcing myself to watch every second again. The first scene showed Emily, in a cheap plastic tiara, standing among friends in a Rush Street bar in Chicago. Neon purple and red lights flashed, electronic music blared. She held a cocktail, her hair swaying in the breeze from a stage fan, laughing like she owned the world. I recognized the tight silver dress, the one she said she bought for her bachelorette party. "You'll faint when you see me in it," she'd winked, and I'd laughed, thinking it was cute teasing. Now I had just wanted to tear it apart. The video cut to Emily climbing onto a strip club stage, the crowd, led by Ashley Brooks, cheering wildly. A ripped male stripper, shirt torn off, moved close to her. Emily didn't flinch. She wrapped around him, hips swaying to the music, hands stroking his chest like I didn't exist. The friends who did, Ashley filmed with her phone, yelling something drowned out by the music. Blood rushed to my head, burning. But that wasn't the worst. Next, Emily sat in a dim VIP lounge, soft lighting. 3 men surrounded her, each with a drink, smirking and whispering in her ear. One, blonde in a gray suit, put his hand on her thigh. She didn't push him away. Instead, she leaned in, letting him kiss her neck. The second, in a black t-shirt, pulled her into a deep kiss. I wanted to stop the video, but my hands froze. The third, wearing sunglasses indoors like a fool, stood and took her hand. She laughed, leading all 3 down a hallway to a hotel room. The door closed, and Ashley, slurring drunkenly, shouted into the camera, "The peak of the night, folks." The video ended. I shot up, the chair crashing behind me. "She dared." I muttered, voice breaking with fury. I punched the table, a water glass shattering on the floor. Glass scattered, like my heart now. I wanted to call Emily, scream in her face, ask why she could throw away our 6 years like trash. But I stopped. Confronting her now would only weaken me. I needed to do something bigger, make her feel the cost. I grabbed my phone, hands still trembling, and called Jake Miller, the only friend I trusted. Jake answered fast, voice groggy. "Ethan, what's up calling this late?" I didn't sugarcoat. Emily slept with 3 guys at her bachelorette party. It's all on video, Jake. Ashley sent it to her like some sick gift. Silence, then Jake exploded, "What? She did that? Ethan, you can't let this slide. She and that scummy friend think you're a joke?" Jake's outrage made me feel less alone, but my anger didn't fade. "I don't know what to do, Jake. I just want to disappear." "Disappear? No, you make her pay," Jake yelled through the phone. "She thinks she can cheat and laugh it off? Send me that video, I want to see it myself." I hesitated, feeling like sharing it bared my wounds, but I sent it. Minutes later, Jake called back, voice dripping with disgust. "God, Ethan, this ain't a prank. She didn't just cheat, she flaunted it. And Ashley, that girl's trash. You gotta act now." Jake was right. I couldn't let this go. But I needed time to think, to plan. I dug through the gift package, checking each item. The men's underwear made my skin crawl, a blatant proof of betrayal. I tossed it in the trash but kept the USB. It was evidence, my weapon. I opened my laptop, copied the video to a secure folder, then screenshot Ashley's texts I found on Emily's phone when she left it unlocked. One from Ashley before the party: "Go wild tonight, bride. Who needs a wedding when you've got freedom?" I gritted my teeth, wanting to punch the wall. I stepped onto the apartment balcony, cold Lake Michigan wind hitting my face. Memories of Emily flooded back, our first walk in Grant Park, her holding my hand, talking about a future home with 2 kids. I believed her, thought she dreamed it too. Now it was all lies. I went back inside, opened the laptop, and watched the video again, torturing myself. Each of Emily's smiles, each touch with those men, was another stab. I slammed the laptop down, the screen shaking but not breaking. Enough, I told myself. I wouldn't let Emily or Ashley get away. I called Jake again. "I'm leaving, Jake. I can't stay here another second," Jake agreed instantly. "Good. Get out of that hellhole. But don't let her think you're running scared. Do something she'll never forget." I nodded, though he couldn't see. "I will. Ashley and Emily won't play innocent." I started planning, not just to leave but to ensure the truth came out. I opened Google, searching for a place to escape, a lodge in Lake Geneva, Wisconsin, a few hours' drive from Chicago. It promised quiet, enough to clear my head and prepare for what's next. Before leaving, I grabbed the USB, tucking it safely in my pocket. I looked around the apartment one last time, the sofa where we watched movies, the dining table where Emily made breakfast. It was all ruins of a broken promise now. I texted Jake, "I'm out. Keep this video, I'll need it." Jake replied fast, "Got it, man. Don't let her drag you down. Make her regret it." I turned off my phone, tossed the apartment keys on the table, and walked out, heart set on fire. Emily and Ashley would soon learn betraying me was their biggest mistake. The apartment door slammed shut behind me, the sound like a vow. I was done with Emily Harper. I carried a duffel bag, hastily stuffed with a few clothes, my laptop, and the USB, proof of her betrayal. I didn't need anything else from this place, not the sofa, not the TV, not even the photos we hung on the walls. Everything was a lie now. I walked down the stairs, not looking back, my heart heavy as stone. Chicago buzzed outside, but I saw only a haze, like the city itself was in on Emily's deceit. I got in my car, threw the bag in the back, and fired up the GPS. I booked a room at a lodge in Lake Geneva, Wisconsin, a few hours from Chicago. It had a quiet lake, pine forests, and no one who knew me. I needed space to breathe, think, decide my next move. Driving out of River North, I pictured Emily coming home, finding the apartment empty, and panicking. The thought gave a flicker of satisfaction, but it couldn't ease the pain clawing at me. On the highway, Lake Michigan's wind blew through the open window. I turned on the radio, but the music only reminded me of Emily singing along in the car, faking an off-key voice to make me laugh. I switched it off. Instead, I imagined confronting her, yelling in her face, "How dare you, Emily? 6 years, and you threw it away for 3 strangers?" But I knew confronting her now was pointless. She'd cry, apologize, blame the booze or Ashley. I didn't need excuses, I needed her to pay. I stopped at a gas station halfway, filled the tank, and grabbed a water bottle. My phone buzzed non-stop in my pocket. "Emily." I glanced at the screen, 12 missed calls, dozens of texts. "Ethan, where are you? What are you doing? Call me. I'm so worried, please answer." I smirked bitterly, tossing the phone onto the seat. She's worried? Good. Let her taste the helplessness I felt. I powered it off, done with her lies. At Lake Geneva, The lodge appeared like a painting, a wooden cabin nestled by the lake, moonlight glinting on still water. I took the key from a soft-spoken receptionist, barely nodding. My room had a fireplace, a window overlooking the lake, and a big bed. I dropped my bag in the corner, sank onto the bed, and exhaled for the first time that day. But the lodge's calm forced me to face my pain. I hadn't just lost Emily, I had lost the dream of a family, a future. I opened my laptop, backing up the video and Ashley's texts. I didn't know what I'd do with them, but they were my only weapons. I called Jake. "I'm here," I said, voice hoarse. "Good," Jake replied, firm. "You need time, but don't let her think you're fleeing. Do something so all of Chicago knows who she is." I nodded, though he couldn't see. "I'm thinking. But first, I need to face Ashley. She's the instigator, Jake. I won't let her off." Jake gave a rough laugh. "That's it. Make that girl shag. Send me anything you need, I'll hold it." I thanked him and hung up. I lay back, staring at the ceiling, picturing Ashley panicking when exposed. But I also thought of Emily's parents, Margaret and Richard Harper. They always eyed me like I wasn't good enough for their daughter. Now I'd show them the truth about their golden girl. I texted Jake, "Tomorrow I'm meeting Ashley." Then Emily's parents. They need to know. Jake shot back, "Go for it, man. No mercy." I got up, stepped onto the room's small balcony. The night wind was freezing, but I didn't care. I looked at the lake, its shimmering surface whispering I was doing right. I'd spent 6 years loving and building a life with Emily, but she'd stomped it to pieces. Now it was my turn to take control. I gripped the USB tightly, like a promise. Emily and Ashley couldn't dodge the consequences. I went back inside, shut the door, and planned for tomorrow, a day Chicago would learn the truth. Morning came, and I woke in the lodge room, sunlight streaming through the window onto the wooden floor. But Lake Geneva's peace didn't soothe my anger. Today, I'd confront Ashley Brooks, the one who egged Emily on. I texted her from a burner number via an app, "Meet me at Brood Awakening Cafe, Wicker Park, noon." About Emily. "Don't dodge." Ashley replied fast, faking concern, "Ethan? What's wrong? Is Emily okay?" I didn't answer. She'd find out soon enough. I drove back to Chicago, my blood boiling. The Wicker Park Cafe was packed, the smell of roasted coffee mixing with indie music. Ashley walked in on time, in a loud red dress, hair tied high, sunglasses like some cheap pop star. She spotted me, flashing a fake smile. "Ethan, God, you scared me. What's this about?" I pointed to the chair across. "Sit, Ashley. Drop the act." She frowned but sat, sliding off her sunglasses. I cut to the chase. I saw the video. All of it. Emily and those 3 guys. "Your sick gift package." I opened it. Ashley's face paled, but she quickly recovered, smirking. "Geez, Ethan, it was just a bachelorette party. You're too serious. Just a bit of fun." I clenched my teeth, fists tight under the table. "Fun? You call filming your friend hooking up with 3 strangers fun? You sent it like a trophy." Ashley shrugged, voice casual. "I didn't make Emily do anything. She wanted it. I just helped her have a good time." I slammed the table, making nearby heads turn. "Don't bullshit me, Ashley. You pushed her, cheered her on, filmed it like a creep. You think I'll let that slide?" Ashley leaned back, eyes wide. "Chill, Ethan. Don't make a scene. Emily loves you, it was just a crazy night." I pulled out my phone, opened her text to Emily, "Go wild tonight, bride. Who needs a wedding when you've got freedom?" I shoved the phone at her. "This is your advice, Ashley." "You wanted Emily to ruin my life," Ashley stammered, trying to deflect. "It was a joke. She was drunk, Ethan. Don't blame me." I stood, voice cold as ice. "You chose to back Emily when she betrayed me. Now face the consequences. Chicago will know who you are." Ashley's face strained, yelling as I walked out, "What are you gonna do, Ethan? Don't be crazy." I didn't look back. I drove straight to Naperville, to Margaret and Richard Harper's big house. They always saw me as beneath their daughter, but today, I'd show them the truth. Margaret opened the door, eyes worried. "Ethan, thank God, you're here. Emily's freaking out since you vanished." I stepped in, no smile. "I need to talk to you both." "About Emily?" Richard, in the living room, looked up from his newspaper. "What's this now?" I sat, pulling out my phone. "Emily did something unforgivable. You need to see this." I played the video. Margaret gasped, covering her mouth as Emily danced with the stripper. When the VIP lounge scene hit, she broke into sobs. "No, it can't be." Richard snatched the phone, face red. When the video ended, he slammed the table, roaring, "That stupid girl! How could we raise her to do this?" Margaret cried, grabbing my hand. "Ethan, please, is this a mistake? Emily wouldn't do that." "There's no mistake," I said, voice firm. "She chose to do it." Ashley filmed, egged her on. "I'm done with Emily, and you should know the truth." Richard stood, pacing. "That girl. She ruined everything. And Ashley, that troublemaker." Margaret begged, "Ethan, don't tell anyone. Our family will be shamed." I pulled my hand away. "That's not my problem anymore. Emily chose her path." I stood, walked out, leaving Margaret sobbing and Richard cursing. Driving back to Lake Geneva, I felt lighter. The truth was out, and now Emily would face the fallout. Back at the Lake Geneva Lodge, my mind stayed in Chicago, where Emily's story spread like wildfire. I sent the video and Ashley's texts to Rachel Evans, a friend of Emily's who was at the party. Rachel called instantly, voice shaky. "Ethan, I swear I didn't know it went that far. I thought it was just dancing." I cut her off. "You were there, Rachel. You saw her take 3 guys to a room and did nothing. Don't play innocent." Rachel went silent, then apologized, promising to talk to Emily. I hung up, not caring. Rachel was just saving her own skin. The news spread fast. Rachel, to cover herself, told the friend group everything. Within 2 days, Emily was the center of scorn. Another friend, Sarah, texted that Emily was shunned. "No one wants to deal with her," Sarah wrote. "Ashley's trying to shift blame, but everyone's seen the video." I gave a faint smile, not out of joy but confirmation Emily was paying. The fallout hit Emily faster than I expected. Margaret and Richard, after our talk, summoned Emily to their Naperville home. For Sarah, they screamed at her, calling her a family disgrace. Emily tried to justify herself, blaming Ashley and the alcohol, but Richard wouldn't hear it. He kicked her out, throwing her belongings onto the lawn. "Don't come back until you take responsibility," he roared. Emily begged, but Margaret, for the first time, didn't defend her. Emily turned to Ashley, but Ashley refused. "I'm not your babysitter," Ashley snapped, per Sarah's account of a fiery argument at a Winker Park bar. Ashley shouted in front of the crowd, "You chose to sleep with them, Emily. Don't pin this on me." Emily fled, sobbing, as the bar stared. Next came a bigger blow. Emily worked at an ad agency in the Loop, a job Richard had secured through connections. But after the scandal, he cut all support. Her boss, already fed up with her tardiness and laziness, seized the chance to fire her, citing restructuring. Emily was jobless, broke, and homeless. She used her meager savings to rent a dingy room in Englewood, where peeling walls and mold reeked. She landed a barista gig at a small cafe, but the pay barely covered Chicago's costs. A week later, Emily showed up at the Lake Geneva Lodge. I was on the balcony, gazing at the lake, when I heard a knock. Opening the door, I saw her, eyes swollen, hair a mess, a shadow of her former radiance. "Ethan, please," she sobbed. "I was wrong. I didn't know what I was doing. I've lost everything, my home, friends, job. You're all I have left." I stared, feeling like she was a stranger. "You think I'll pity you, Emily?" I said, voice like ice. "You threw away our 6 years. You chose 3 strangers over me. Now I live with it." She fell to her knees, grabbing my hand, but I pulled away. "Don't come near me again. You're not worth it." I shut the door, her cries echoing outside, but I didn't reopen it. Back in Chicago, Ashley tried to salvage her reputation by spreading rumors that I'd faked the video to smear Emily. I was livid. I sent Ashley's incriminating texts to the friend group, including her pre-party message urging Emily to go wild. Ashley's lies collapsed, and she was shunned as much as Emily. Sarah said Ashley left town, dodging her former circle. Emily, meanwhile, struggled on. She tried other jobs but found no takers, her reputation in tatters. She scraped by on sparse cafe shifts, alone and broken. Sitting by Lake Geneva, I watched the water shimmer, feeling like I'd emerged from a nightmare. Emily had paid a price, losing family, friends, job, and dignity. Part of me felt vindicated, not for her suffering, but because truth had prevailed. Yet, I wasn't happy. 6 years of love don't vanish overnight, though her betrayal still stung. I called Jake, spilling everything. "You did right, Ethan," he said firmly. "She didn't deserve you. Now live for yourself." Jake always pulled me from the dark. I started envisioning a future without Emily. I enrolled in a painting class in Lincoln Park, reviving an old passion I'd shelved for her. Evenings with a brush brought peace I thought I'd lost forever. I moved to a new apartment in Lincoln Park, small but bright, overlooking the park. I landed a job at a graphic design firm, where I could create freely. Each day, I grew stronger, rebuilding an Ethan unbound by the past. I walked along Lake Michigan, once our dating spot. Now, it was where I reclaimed myself. One day, Sarah texted an update on Emily. She was still in Englewood, working at the cafe, living reclusively, avoiding everyone. "She's a shadow of herself," Sarah wrote. I didn't reply. Emily was no longer my concern. She'd chosen her path, and I'd chosen mine. I learned trust is precious but fragile. Emily taught me that the hard way. But I also discovered I'm tougher than I knew. I didn't need her to be happy. Standing by Lake Michigan, wind in my face, I smiled. The future was wide open, and this time, I'd live for me. Thank you for following the dramatic story of the Betrayal Room. Subscribe to the channel and ring the bell to not miss the next dramatic stories, where the truth always wins.